And I'm live. Hello, folks. So this will be, my third video for the day. What do I do on my days off? I make videos talking about sociology. No, I just want to make sure that everyone, is exposed to this information. You get your money's worth for this semester. You know, I'm here to bring on the truth, bring on the reality. I'm getting messages. They're gonna have to wait. Got a little cup of coffee. All right, so for starters, all right, what I decided to do is, let's see, I'm gonna put it right up here. I was going to, instead of doing the study guide, I'm going to wait and do that at the end. What I'm doing right now is I'm going through each PowerPoint slide. I got my notes right here just in case we need some statistics. Nobody believes me. I say everything, social scientific evidence and research. Nobody believes me. There it is. We went over in chapter 1 how many rules and regulations there are to do social scientific research. It's not just common sense. It's not just sitting at Walmart watching people. That's pretty fun, though. It has a lot of, it's got to be reliable and valid and sample and population and generalizability and and then it has to be redone over and over and over and over and over and over, and a whole bunch of fancy pants people got to say it's real. And anyway, there's madness to the research project. And so anyway, for starters, this is chapter 10. And once again, Henslin, the author of the book, why did you put in one chapter gender and aging? I didn't pick the book. Anyway, I'm going to start with gender, and then I'll stop before I start with the aging part. Just not that much. Also, I've got to watch myself not to go too far with the gender, because I am teaching that for the second time next semester, sociology of gender. I've been waiting since 2007 or earlier to teach this course, and now I get to. So I don't want to tell you too much, that's not going to be on the exam. So anyway, I've already wasted 3 minutes of blabber. Nothing's new. I can't help but ramble. So chapter 10, the first PowerPoint slide that we come to, unequal access. The term to know, gender stratification. Now, all of y'all probably remember that when I was in grad school as a young grasshopper, my emphasis was stratification. As in, every semester they'd go around the room. You have to introduce yourself and tell you where you're from and all that embarrassing stuff in front of everybody. And then they'd be like, what is your emphasis? Loud and proud, stratification. Most likely in gender, then race, then sexuality, then social class. So most of my papers, my research papers that I wrote, most of my research was done in stratification. And what is stratification? Inequality. Unequal, power, resources, etc. Inequality between two groups. One group thinks they're better than the other. Why? Why are they not equal? Why is there so much inequality in this world? Will we ever be equal? I'm pessimistic. Not in my lifetime. I'll never see equality. My kids, probably not. No offense. My kids, kids, Well, I don't know. My meteor shower might come for them. Just trying to make you laugh. And the reasons I base this future, thinking is based on the past. 1920 was when women finally got to vote. As in 1919 and earlier, women could not vote. They could not have their own say-so in political affairs. And today, of course, women can vote. That's like no big deal. And, it sucks because a lot of women take advantage of that and they don't even vote. And just think, 1920, let's see, it's 2020, 100 years ago. That was a long time, but still, 100 years ago, couldn't vote just because of your gender. So today, take advantage of that and vote. It's important. All right. Our first term is gender stratification, which all of y'all probably remember from past exams. It's been on there. The main way that people are divided all over this world is usually based in gender. And gender stratification is the unequal access to property, power, and prestige. So like social class, right? Gender stratification. And here we go with old Henslin starting his typical use of the binary categories of only male and female when it comes to gender or sex in the United States. Yeah, I'm going to debate that in a minute. Can't help myself. We got two boxes in the United States. One says male, one says female. Guess what, y'all? There is a variety of types of bodies all over this world that do not neatly fit into one or the other box. Surprise. Hang on. I don't want any, please. I'm talking. But in the U.S., we usually use the binary categories of male and female when it comes to gender or sex. There's a whole bunch more. I'm holding on. We're only going to go over what is on the PowerPoints. All right. So gender stratification is males and females unequal access to property, power, and prestige. How much? Well, I did a little research, me, now this is dated back to 2014. This was 5 years ago, so that's kind of pushing it. I'm kidding. If it's 10 years or less, it's, doable. Earnings ratio by race and ethnicity, 2014. All right, so what we got? We got a discrepancy in pay when it comes to the average female. I know a student going to raise their hand and say, but my mama is a neurosurgeon. She makes a whole lot more than my daddy. It's called the exception. Well, Oprah Winfrey's a woman and she's a millionaire. Exception. We're talking about the average female in the United States. Now, what we did in this first little table here is on the left side, or what I'm looking at, is a list of groups. I'm going to use Latinas, Native Americans. They used American Indian or Alaska Native. Anyway, I prefer the term Native American. Oh, I'm sorry. This research comes from the aauw.org. Is based on median annual earnings of full-time year-round workers. So we've got Latinas, Native Americans and Alaska Natives, Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander, African American, white non-Hispanic, and Asian American. All right, now we can take their average earnings for a year and let's compare them to men of the same race. Okay. For example, the average Latina versus the average Latino. The average Latino man is at $1. The average Latina makes 89 cents to the average Latino dollar. Okay? 11-cent difference. Native Americans are at 85% within their group. African Americans, 90% to the dollar that every African American man earns. White non-Hispanic is at 78 cents for every dollar that a white man earns. Asian American women are at 79 cents to the dollar that every Asian American man earns. Now we look at it and we say, who makes the most money out of everybody? And that would be the white male. Okay? So what they did was they took the minority group, white women are minority groups. Anyway, they took the races that I just told you of females, and they compared their earnings to the average white male's $1 earning. All right? So we've got, for example, it's like a percentage of the white man's earnings. So if the white man made $1, the white average woman makes 78 cents to the dollar. Okay? Now, side note, this gap is decreasing, as in women are starting to make more money than they did like 1932, So the gap is decreasing. However, I just want you to know that there is still a gap between the average pay, the average worker doing the same damn job with the same credentials, with the same number of children, same marital status, same educational level, same job duties. Oh, the variables go on, and we still find a discrepancy in pay. There's a difference. Gosh, it's already 12 minutes and I ain't even past the first slide. I knew this one might be a 3-hour one. All right, so let's see. Latina, the average Latina makes 54% of the $1 that the white male earns. 54 cents to the dollar. Native Americans and Alaska Natives, 59. Native Hawaiian and other Pacific Islander, 62. African American women make 63% of the dollar. And then white non-Hispanic is 78. Asian American, 90% to the dollar that every white man earns. Basically, what I've noted, I've done lots and lots of research on this, and what I keep coming out as, first of all, there's still a gap. Second of all, yes, it is closing, but there's still a gap. Third of all, it can average between 72 to 79 cents per dollar that every white man earns. The average woman, 72 to 79 cents to the dollar of a white man doing the same job duties, same everything. Now, why is there a difference? Oh, we could explain it. Y'all got about 5 more hours. I can explain it in 100 different ways. One of my thesis ideas was the gender pay gap. Yeah, knuckles. But we'll get to that eventually. That was just for starters. Your book started off with gender stratification, and I decided to put the earnings ratio between men and women and race. That's called intersectionality, when you do gender, race, social class, intersectionality. Moving on. All right. The dominant position in sociology. All right, so we need to know the difference between sex and gender. Kind of like race and ethnicity. Well, let's learn the difference between sex and gender. Now, keep in mind, just like with the race chapter, even though sex says that it is biological, I can define it socially constructed. Because I am a severe social constructivist. Like everything is socially constructed to me. But anyway, all right. On your test, here we go. Sex, the biological characteristics that distinguishes humans. All right. Gender, the social characteristics of behaviors and attitudes a group considers proper for males and females. Where's intersex? Where's non-binary? No. Remember, Jamie, we're just talking about males and females. There's more categories than males and females, but it's not going to be on the test, and it's not for intro. It's for my sociology of gender class. I got to get over it. All right, so easy way to remember it: sex, biological; gender, sociological. Now, remember, let's read that gender one again. Social characteristic of behaviors and attitudes, thoughts, and way you behave that a group considers proper for males and for females. Don't you be going outside them boxes. People look at you weird. All right. So sex, biological; gender, sociological. And then the third bullet point says, do chromosomes control our behavior? Is that my witch laugh? Now, it depends on who you ask. There you go. Chromosomes. All right. This is what I say, and y'all gonna hear it tomorrow. Chromosomes. So when was the last time you went to the doctor and said, yes, Dr. Frankfurter, just made that up. Dr. Frank, can you please check my chromosomes to make sure that my chromosomes match up with my expression of gender? No, you don't do that. You don't even do it as a kid unless there's ambiguous genitalia. You just assume, based on the external genitalia, that your chromosomes match up. Guess what? They don't always. All right. So anyway, sociologists, now we're in the sociology realm. Social factors, not biology, are the reasons people do what they do. This is, and why do sociologists say this, that it's not chromosomes? Because of the variations of gender found all over the world and throughout time. See, if you see a variation, then you know it can't be biological, because if it was biological, you would see the same thing all over the world. But you don't see the same thing, exactly the same thing, all over the world. You see variations of the same thing throughout time. You know, like back in the day, women were not supposed to climb stairs or carry books because of their menstrual periods. Because procreation was more important, and menstrual periods were more important than education. I'm sorry, excuse me. Got a little upset. I'm a little biased today, am I? But no, seriously, they thought that during the menstrual cycle that the woman should stay in bed and take care of herself and don't dare read or carry books or walk upstairs. No, you might mess up your reproductive abilities. That kept women from being educated. Anyway, so do chromosomes control our behavior? Well, if you ask sociologists, we're going to be like, look, well, I don't know, sociobiologist? Maybe. But most sociologists are going to say, look, it's social factors, because we see variations across the world and throughout time of what it means to be, your idea of gender. It's changed over time. So therefore, it can't be chromosomes unless chromosomes are changing. I don't know. I failed chemistry like 5 times. Okay, it was 3 times. Chemistry, USM, failed it. Now we got a picture. Good old David Reimer. All right. Do y'all know the story of David Reimer? Hell, I may just play this video tomorrow and not teach. David Reimer. Here's his story. Let me see what the next slide is to kind of get into it. Okay. The point we're getting into by first talking about David Reimer here is the debate of nature versus nurture. All right? Is it nurture that dictates our behavior, as in we learn how to do things growing up? Or is it nature, as in we're born knowing how to do things? Like if you're born a male, then you're supposed to know how to do male stuff. If you're born a female, you're supposed to know how to cook and clean. All right. Anyway. All right. So, no, cooking and cleaning should be something that everyone has to do. But based on past, norms and values of our society, most people say that women are supposed to cook and clean. Damn, this is going to be hard to teach tomorrow. Y'all going to eat me up. All right, here we go. Nature versus nurture. Are you born with it or do you learn it? Well, this story, my friends, sorry, you're not my friends, students. This story, my students, may put a little kicker in this whole nature versus nurture debate. All right, so we got David Reimer. Deanna. Since females have the same education opportunities, they don't, as males now, which gender is smarter on average? Yikes. Well, okay. Time out, David Reimer. And let me get to this real quick. And thank you. Thank you for asking me a question. All right, so the beginning of your question, females have the same educational opportunities. That's incorrect, unfortunately. Yes, there are more females in college today than males. But they're not having the same opportunities when it comes to, let's say, for example, major chosen. What we find in college is that females tend to choose feminine majors, and those majors tend to be paid less. And males choose masculine majors, which pay more. All right, so I got my lipstick. Speaking of lipstick and gender norms, got my lipstick all over my face. I get excited to talk about gender. We don't have the same educational opportunity. Let's say that there's a male and a female, and they had sex at age 16, and they got pregnant. Boy and girl got pregnant. The boy probably still has a chance to go to college. Girl gonna have to stay home and take care of the baby. Lots and lots of examples of how men and women have different educational opportunities to even get a degree, even a high school diploma. All right, now, and then you said which gender is smarter on average. Holy shit. I don't even know where to begin on how to conceptualize or find any methodology to research exactly how to conceptualize intelligence. Like, for example, we could use the IQ test, right? Like, use the IQ test, and whoever makes a higher grade must be smarter. Well, There's problems with the IQ test. It's biased in the fact that it asks questions that middle and upper class students would know more frequently than lower class students would. So the IQ test is biased in favor of middle and upper class rather than lower class. What else could we use? The ACT, standardized test, still is biases. Now what they do find when they're little kids and throughout high school, I'm gonna have to smoke a cigarette during this. This is getting me. When they're little kids, girls do better at English and communications and writing. Boys do better at math. Well, let's think of one reason: the toys that girls and boys play with. Boys go outside and are active, and they throw footballs, and they got to measure how far a football needs to be thrown in order for the other one to catch it. While the girls are inside with baby dolls and brushing hairs and changing diapers and pretending like the baby doll's peeing in the toilet. And they're wiping them and they're cleaning them. And they got their Santa Claus present of a vacuum cleaner, and they're pretending to vacuum. And they look at their mom, and their mama's over there washing dishes, so they learn how to load a dishwasher, while the boys are outside learning how to plant crops and throw footballs and make forts. Somebody's jealous. So there's a whole, you see how we are never going to get through the chapter on gender in class. But there's a whole plethora of ways to describe these differences between men and women. I'm finally past the whole binary category of men and women. But I do not know how to measure who is smarter. And then the educational opportunities, they are not equal between men and women. Now, remind me tomorrow in class, and I'm going to ask, which gender do you think is smarter? Okay? So, I'm going to like that so I'll remember it. I don't even know if you're still there. And so we can talk about, just remind me tomorrow. Everybody got to remind me or write a Post-it note. Yeah, these are New Orleans community colleges to look up for because I want to move to New Orleans. Okay. Woo! About 30 minutes has gone by and I've done 4 slides. All right. So back to this nature-nurture debate. All right. Thank you, Dan. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to call you by your last name. Remember, that's how we do it in our class. Iris, I probably butchered that. I'm terrible with pronunciation. Iris. You know how I call people by their last name to take away their gender and their marital status, because I don't think your gender or marital status has anything to do with how smart you are or how well you'll do. All right. So, nature versus nurture. Is nature causing us to act the way we do? Chromosomes, brain, chemistry, neurons, all that weird stuff I don't know. Or is it society, mamas and daddies teaching us how to do things, and our grandparents and our friends and our families teaching us how to do stuff, and that's the way we behave? Which one is it? All right, well, here's your story. David Reimer. It has a sad ending, but here we go. All right, David Reimer had a twin brother. Don't know his name. So, twin boys were born, I'm going to say in the 70s, 80s. I don't know, he looks about my age. I don't know. Well, I think I'm 27. So, yeah. No, anyway. Twin boys were born. They go through a surgery that a young boy goes through during infancy, and that's called a circumcision. Whoa, could I talk about circumcision right now? Hold it for a later day. We'll talk about circumcision another day. All right, but here we go. Okay, I just want to know why. Why do people get circumcised? I know it's something to do with the Jewish religion, but anyway, okay. All right. We got 2 twin boys. Both are getting circumcision. Well, David Reimer, the surgeon, accidentally removed his penis during the circumcision. Really, really. Things like this happen. Humans make mistakes, and this surgeon made a huge one. Removed the infant's penis during circumcision. So the surgeon is like, hey, mom and daddy, y'all get up in here. Let me tell y'all what I did. I accidentally removed your son's penis. How would you feel? How would you react? I mean, circumcisions cost $100. You just paid a surgeon $100 for them to cut your son's penis off. All right, anyway. So what do? The mama and the daddy, if there is a mama and daddy, guardians, whoever, and the surgeon, they get together and they say, you want a boy or a girl? Well, it looks like since you've removed the penis, it would be easier to form a vagina. So let's go with a girl. So they do all kinds of surgery to David Reimer, which was born male, and they make it look like he has a vagina or somewhat of a vaginal opening. All right. So then what else do they do? Oh, they get them pink bows. They put them pink bows in their hair. I remember when Victoria was born, she didn't even have no hair, and they put some glue or they put a piece of Scotch tape on a pink bow and put it on her head so everybody knows she was a girl. Infants look all alike. You can't tell when they're born. You can't tell if they're a girl or boy unless they got a pink bow or a blue blanket. I mean, society. God, people are weird. All right, so they did. The family decided to turn David Reimer into a female. They got him female clothes, female toys. They treated him like a female. They changed his name to Brenda. All right, and so and there goes his life. And they tried by nurture. Socialization, chapter 3. They socialized him to be a girl. Clothes, hair, name. They tried real hard. Well, guess what? David, he'd yanked them pink dresses off. He did not want to play with little girl toys. He had no friends. He was very depressed. He something was wrong and he didn't know what it was. Well, then comes puberty. Something wasn't right. And Brenda goes up to his folks and he's like, something ain't right. Something's wrong. And the parents tell him, guess what? During your circumcision, your penis was removed. So we turned you into a girl. So now the pieces fit. Now David understood why he didn't feel right in that body. So he changed into a male, changed his name back to David Reimer, and lived the rest of his life as a male. He adopted kids, he got married, but at age 27, unfortunately, he committed suicide. Hard life. Now, that story goes to show you that maybe nurture, socialization, no matter how much socialization you do, cannot change nature, biology. Y'all wasn't expecting that, were you? Because y'all was thinking, oh, I'm going to be like sociology, and that's the only way to, the only way that people know how to behave is because they learned it. Actually, in David Reimer's case, his chromosomes, his biology won out. He felt like he was a boy. But the surgery gave him a girl's parts. And then when he found out, yeah. So, is it nature or nurture? All right. That was David Reimer's story. Okay. We got another story. Here, let me get my notes out on this one. It is the Vietnam veteran study. We're on slide 6. And it's, 35 minutes in. I'm going to go till I want to. All right. Wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? Vietnam vet story. All right. 1985. Okay. Doing a health study of Vietnam veterans. All right. So they measured testosterone in these veterans. All right. This is what they found. Is that individuals with higher testosterone in their bodies also ranked higher in more likely to get in trouble, more likely to become delinquent, more likely to use hard drugs, more likely to get into fights, more likely to end up in a lower status job, have more sexual partners, more likely to have affairs, more likely to hit their wives, and to get a divorce. So they linked higher testosterone with all those aforementioned problems. Do you think testosterone causes these? Now, women have testosterone in our bodies. It's just not as much as males. The lower the social class of the Vietnam vet was in the first place, the higher they ranked on those aforementioned problems. All right. So here we go, though. Let me add this testosterone story. All right. Now, keep in mind, David Reimer, nurture did not work. Nature did. Testosterone, nurture not working. Nature, testosterone did. Here's another little kicker in the story. It's on the test. Okay. I had to. Other things outside of the body causes testosterone to increase, such as winning a basketball game will increase your testosterone. All right. So what they did was they got a group of high school girls, and they measured their testosterone before the game, and then they played the game and they won, and they measured their testosterone after it, and it increased. And they did this over and over, and they found that things such as winning a game increased your testosterone. All right. So, hey, Mama, right in time. We are talking about nature versus nurture. Is it biology that causes us to act the way we do? Or is it sociology, the way we learn, that tells us how we behave? Is it nature or nurture? Is it biology or is it culture? I just gave some examples. You missed them. Whoa, David Reimer, he got his penis removed in a botched circumcision. We had Vietnam veterans that are ranking high on testosterone and high on some problematic behavior. But then we just noted that, for example, winning a game can increase testosterone, for example, in females. Because females do have testosterone, just not as much as men, different levels. When's the last time you went to the doctor and said, you checked my testosterone? All right. So, let's see. basically, in a nutshell, and this is what's on your test. The reasons we act the way we do, a little bit of nature and a little bit of nurture. It can be both nature and nurture working together to cause human behavior. For example, me being cisgender female, that means cisgender means I dress like a female most of the time, and I express myself as a female. My birth certificate says I'm female. I say I'm female. All right, so cisgender female. Sometimes, I don't know, I could get an axe and go cut a tree down. I could go dig a ditch. I'm pretty capable. But I don't really want to. I'd rather cross stitch or drink coffee and talk. So is my behavior based on biology or sociology? But what your book is trying to tell you with all these stories about testosterone and circumcision botched and all that is that whatever biological predisposition nature provides, they are overlaid with culture. Example, let's say that your mom and dad are both alcoholics and you are their biological child. You have a predisposition for alcoholism. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. It just means you got a predisposition because it's in your genes, biological. Now, what you can do as the child, when the child grows up at age 21, never touch alcohol. If they never drink alcohol, then they'll never become an alcoholic. But if they do, they got a higher chance than the average to become an alcoholic because of their predisposition from their parents. So, biology can leave its mark, predisposition, but the society in which one's found also leaves its mark. So it is a mixture of nature and nurture working together in order to explain human behavior. 42 minutes, and I've gone over 5 slides. David Reimer. All right, now I almost want to take a break, but I'm gonna try to make it an hour, and then I'll break. They'll kill you. They're addictive, and they will kill you. Anyway, all right. Doing gender. That's actually a theory. The traditional model. All right. Oh, and usually I'll write this on the board, and we can do it tomorrow in class. Masculine and feminine stereotypes. Okay. For example, what is where am I post-it notes? Here we go. I'll write y'all this one down. All right. Men. Wait, let's see. Men, women. Let's see. Let me move this so I can. All right. Please keep in mind, this is the sign for female. This is the sign for male. That is a sign for female. It's not witchcraft. Anyway, female. All right. The female's got the plus sign. All right, so a man, strong. Female, weak. A man, he's stoic, no emotions. Woman, female, oh, she's emotional. She's got all them hormones. Females are crazy. Crazy. Men, rational. They know what they're doing. Women, they're great with children. Child carers. Men, they bring home the bacon. They got the paychecks. They the income. They the breadwinners. All right, come on, give me some more. Anybody out there? Mama, are you still listening? What is a stereotypical female stereotype? What's something, your average female, let's see. She wears pink. She wears makeup. And boys don't wear makeup. No makeup. Oh, boys are good at sports. Girls are good at cleaning. I know, Mama. I take it you're not still watching because you'd be laughing right now. My mama, bless her heart, she comes and washes my dishes for me. I'm terrible. You still watching? Oh, well, I'll have to rewind this to 45 minutes and send you out a thank you for washing my dishes so many times. I don't know. I guess I'm a boy. All right, well, let's get some more stereotypes. Boys are good at mechanics. Girls know how to sew. All right, so there's our list. Let's see. Strong, stoic, rational, breadwinners, no makeup, sports, mechanics. And then female, weak, emotional, crazy, childcare, makeup, cleaning, sewing. I don't think I'm a girl. Okay, I like makeup. And I'm crazy. No, the point of doing this list, which we'll do tomorrow, and I can guarantee you these are going to be on there. And if you're watching this tonight, you'll know. And then me and you will laugh because we'll have a little side joke. Stereotypes about men and women are opposites. Men, strong. Women, weak. So this is one of my biggest pet peeves. When people say that men are opposite of women or women are opposite of men. It's called the other gender. Men are the other gender to female. Female are the other gender to males. They're not opposite. Now, if you want to talk stereotypes, which are socially created ideologies that negatively affect groups, when you talk about stereotype men and women, yeah, they're opposite. Strong, weak, crazy, rational, mechanical, sewing. You see what I'm saying? Stereotypes are opposite, but men and women are not opposite. Men and women are more alike than they are different. It's very important to know that. All right, now the next bullet point says, why do men and women typically perform different types of work? Because, yeah, I'm a professor. I teach. It's a girly job. That's for women. You know, my child's father, engineer. How classic can the stereotypes be for my child's parents? Teacher and an engineer. All right, well, this is on page 296. They said, now there is 100 different million reasons I can explain this, but real quickly, we're going to say, or this is what's on your test, it is a product of socialization and social control. Socialization is how you were raised or reared, if you want to be grammatically correct. and social control, as in things in our society control humans to be able to only do one thing and not the other. Interesting. I'm sure that when I was growing up, if I were to ask my daddy, how do you change a tire? I'm sure he'd tell me. No biggie. But me growing up, I didn't want to know how to change a tire because I was too busy with my Barbie dolls in the Miss USA pageant with their little banners on, and Miss California always won. I was too busy playing teacher and giving my brother a report card saying he couldn't go to recess because he failed his spelling test. So why do men and women typically perform different types of work? Socialization and social control. Let's see if I can do one more PowerPoint slide before we end. We got a picture on this PowerPoint slide of women with some axes. They chopping down concrete in India. Road construction. This woman works 8.5 hours a day, 6 days a week. She earns about 40 rupees, which is about 90 cents. Guess how much men make? $1.35. Like many quarry workers, this woman is a bonded laborer. Half of her wages go to her master. So, we think we got it here in the United States all good and everybody's equal, which it ain't. Think about how bad it is in other places of the country, of the world. Other places of the world is real bad. You can get killed. For the things that I've said in the past hour, I could be stoned to death. Seriously. Honor killings. All right. I ain't got time. We're going to break it up. We're going to take a break right here. And what we're going to break on is gender inequality in a global perspective, talking about how women are minority groups. How did women become minority groups? And what is patriarchy? All right. I hope you enjoyed this or have time to listen to it, but I will keep going, freedom fighter. Peace out. I'll see y'all in about 15 minutes.